Good morning, everybody. Welcome back for the greatest podcast on your Sundays. I almost said Saturday. Saturday's the old us. We're new now. We're new and improved.
New stuff.
In for a great little day. We got episode 16. We're going to start off by the most important part of the day, introductions. So I am joined today by Nictus, and I see him every single weekend. Nictus plays games. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm Nictus, and I play games.
Yeah.
But today, we're going to talk about stuff.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, guys, and I'm going to be honest with you before we even start the show. It was kind of a mess this week. Not like us setting it up, just how much stuff happened, trying to figure out what's the most important stuff to talk about.
I agree, like 100%.
And it gets tough at times because, like, we have weeks where, we get on here and there's like 3 main topics, and that's about all the important stuff that happened the week.
Yeah.
And then there's other times where we get on here and it's like, oh my God, we got this. We got this, and this, but we can only talk about
we only have like an hour, you know?
So
you'll have to forgive me. I'm feeling a little under the weather, so I didn't even know if I was going to be able to make it today. But I'm hyped up on Dayquil and Mucinex and all other kinds of things. I'll try to keep my coughing in your face, ears, and other to a minimum.
Yep. And Jason, thank you for the like on Facebook.
Thank you, sir.
As you guys may see or notice, if maybe you're new or maybe a reoccurring veteran of the show, we are experiencing a new little banner today. I mean, it's not our final product.
No, it's
definitely
rough draft.
It's a rough draft.
Rough draft.
So we were just trying to test with it. We're trying to get some more centering and
we're trying to look more legitimate.
Yeah, and that's hard. Have you seen us?
Yeah.
If you met us in real life, we're not legitimate
At all.
We're fake. If anything, we're imposters of the podcast scene. But hey, we're taking it over day by day, episode by episode. Episode 16, we are on the countdown, road to 100 episodes. So we are
on the road.
So we can wear tuxedos for you guys, answer all your questions. Also, logo in the works. So that's pretty nice. I mean, we got a logo in the works. Once the logo is complete, or mascot, we will be actually bringing it to the hoodies. That's when the hoodie will be released and everything like that. Got some designs already mocked up of where everything's going to go. So stay tuned, guys. I'm excited to do the giveaways for it and let you guys all know what's going on.
They are coming. We have heard you. We have heard you speak. You want hoodies.
Yeah.
But we don't really make anything doing this, right? Like, this is for fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's for fun. I mean,
you're gonna just give us a little bit of time, be patient, but they are coming. We're hoping to have them before Christmas.
Yep. I was gonna say, I think the end goal, not even really the end goal, is just really to produce content for you guys, give you guys, the viewers at home, all the stuff they want to watch, as far as looking at us, every day in and day out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's really the goal, just to give you guys news. Don't kind of BS it, have fun, and make friends along the way. Isn't that what it's all about?
Thanks for the like, Julia. Appreciate it. I also see that I got a like in there from Brian, but it didn't pop up on the notifications. Thank you, Brian, for the like. We appreciate it, bud.
Yeah. Appreciate it. It's probably going to pop up here soon.
There it goes. All right.
All right. Brian, you have been congratulated now twice.
Thank you.
So, thank you. We appreciate it. But we got a lot to talk about, so
a lot.
We're going to jump right into it. This might be a little bit of a shorter podcast dealing with him being sick, but hey, the show must go on.
We're going to see what we can do.
All right. But so you guys may be curious, maybe have avoided the internet, maybe you're Amish or whatever.
And you don't have cable or
electricity. But if you are in the streaming platform game, I am sorry to inform you, but Netflix and chill, it's over.
It's over.
It's over. It's all about Disney and other things. All right. Disney Plus launched this week, and can I just say, nostalgia, my childhood, my love. I don't really. There's nothing really about Disney Plus that's bad that I've noticed besides the aspect ratio on Simpsons.
Yes, the aspect ratio on a couple of the older shows is a little meh, but it launched relatively pain-free. I experienced zero problems, zero difficulties with the streaming platform when I logged in and signed in.
Yep.
How was your experience with it? Did you notice any problems?
So, right off the bat, I mean, everything was categorized correctly. I mean, it didn't feel like anything was misplaced. Very smooth, very transitions between everything. And the recommendations are amazing. I mean, I know we were cheesing about it. So it was, I don't know, it was good. It was good for me. I enjoyed it. So.
I'm not. Thoughts on Rajesh? I don't,
Thoughts? I think
I don't-
Rajesh is from a TV show.
I don't know these people.
It's-
Rajesh is from the.
It's from the one chick where she's the babysitter for him. Pretty sure Rajesh.
You know, I have a lot of thoughts. I assume those are your Twitch people.
Yes,
Okay.
they are.
I don't have my Twitch up right now. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, I thought that
I'm ready to go in, Coach. Just give me a
look
chance.
at that, you got a new
I
follower.
know there's a lot riding on
Thank
it,
you.
but
I
it's all
appreciate the new
psychological.
Thank you for the follow on this guy's stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're all over the internet just like we were last week, and we're doing it all again.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's see. Aaron has been binge watching.
Oh my gosh.
Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah.
Who told you?
Yeah.
That was supposed to be a secret between friends.
We were sitting here and
Don't act like he's not been watching Even Stevens. You know, I'm just saying.
I'm gonna be honest
Don't
with
act
you.
like it.
I've been watching a lot of Sweet Life. Sweet Life used to be my show growing up. Lizzie McGuire for sure. I thought Lizzie McGuire had more seasons, but apparently I was wrong.
Yeah,
And it was only 2 seasons.
like 25.
Just kind of. I mean, I've watched Mandalorian. We watched the second episode kind of together.
We're gonna talk about that later.
But yeah, that
Like,
that would be later.
That's probably the next topic.
And I mean, overall, just
Not even counting their original program. We've heard that there's no rotating. All the stuff's gonna stay.
yeah.
They're supposed to be fixing the aspect ratio on some of the Simpsons stuff. Personally, I was like, I don't know if this is for me. I was excited about the original content, the Marvel shows, which aren't out yet, and The Mandalorian, which launched with it. So I felt like, I'm going to subscribe, watch The Mandalorian until it's over, and then probably cancel it. But I'm seeing stuff on there that I do want to watch. I'm seeing a lot of things on there that I do want to watch. Even though, like, I already own digital copies of all the Marvel movies and all the Star Wars movies, it's kind of nice just to have it all right there.
Don't have to do
one
anything.
little platform, you know.
Yeah, Disney Plus. It's really great. It's a great service overall. I mean, like I said, no complaints. I don't think you can really go wrong right now with Disney Plus. It really stepped up the streaming market itself and what you need to do to stay in the game.
And value, right?
I mean,
How is the value on it? Do you feel that
I feel like
it's worth the $7?
for $7, no ads, no nothing like that. I have access to tons and tons of shows that I watch. The nostalgia itself. I mean, you have anywhere from kid shows to Marvel movies to just everything. Everything from my childhood is there.
Yeah.
And
And the memes have been fantastic, have they not?
yes. There's some that we won't announce on air.
No.
But check them out. They're hilarious about Disney Plus and other things. I'll let you guys fill in the blanks on those.
Julia says that she's been watching, the Marvel movies and the Star Wars movies. And I know that she's another one of those people because I'm good friends with her and her husband. And I know that they own those movies either on Blu-ray or DVD or digital copies or whatever. But it's very convenient. It's just right there. It's the same reason I was still watching the Marvel movies on Netflix when they were on Netflix. Just because it's convenient and I was already on Netflix. But do I think that this is the death nail in the Netflix coffin? No. I think that all the platforms can exist together.
Well, that's the thing. So, coincidence or not, Netflix announced like the day after Disney Plus launch.
It wasn't a coincidence. That was very planned.
They signed expensive contract with
Exclusive.
exclusive Nickelodeon content all coming. That's pretty much. I mean, they kind of hinted at it after Victorious went on there. Like, I mean, all the seasons of that show.
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
What is Ren and Stimpy and a few others.
So I mean, you got a ton of value right now, and like I said, this is the age of the stream war, not only through video games but also now with streaming platforms.
It's coming, right? So Hulu, is like part of Disney, right? Like they own a lot of it. So I don't know. I feel like they kind of have a leg up because they can have so many different types of things. But
Yeah.
I don't think Netflix is going anywhere. Netflix is
No.
the granddaddy of all the streaming platforms. So
Oh, for sure. And I don't really think you can go wrong. Like I said, with whoever you have, overall, like Netflix still has a ton of great titles.
their
Um,
exclusive content is really good.
oh yeah,
They have the Haunting at Hill House is awesome.
Yeah.
They don't I don't think they have the Marvel. They're not doing new Marvel shows, but they have the old Marvel shows. They still have Stranger Things, and they have really decent movies that come out. Not all of them
Yeah.
are home runs, but
yeah. And the other thing, guys, a lot of people had questions about this, and they were wondering why that some of the overall movies or shows were not activated yet on Disney Plus. It's because they're still under contract with their respected platform.
they're coming.
They will. I mean,
Thor Ragnarok, I think Black Panther, Spider-Man, a couple other ones. They're
yeah.
The Last Jedi.
Yeah. So once everything is all done, you got billed for Stadia today. There you go.
Bravo.
Streaming.
I haven't checked to see if I actually got hit for mine yet or not.
Good. I will not be getting it because I did not get it, so I'm gonna let you try it.
Yeah, we'll try it and we'll let you know. And if it
Yeah.
looks terrible, then we'll also let you know that. I'm willing to give it a couple months just to see how it all irons out, see if they can work out some of the bugs, and we'll see. But yeah, I think overall Disney, I think they hit a home run with this. I mean, they had over 2 million subscribers who pre-ordered.
Yeah.
Verizon has an exclusive deal with them that if you're a Verizon customer already, you can sign up and basically get a whole year of Disney Plus for free.
Yeah.
So for you cheap people who don't want to spend $7, if you're already paying for Verizon,
Yep. there
get
you go.
it. Try it out.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna be disappointed. Anybody that I would say grew up.
Gargoyles, bro.
Yeah.
The old Gargoyles cartoon is on there. They got the old X-Men cartoon from the 90s. They've got all those weird TV shows that you grew up with, like Hannah Montana and Wizards of Waverly Place and Lizzie
Yeah.
McGuire and Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and they're all on there.
Yeah.
Not for me, but you know,
The platform that I want to see really take off, and I want to see them get it made is Cartoon Network.
I do too.
Cartoon
They
Network.
have so much good stuff.
Cartoon Network with Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Mix would be perfect because you get all the Robot Chickens, you get Family Guy. Well, Family Guy does air on there. You would have oh my gosh, Kids Next Door.
Well,
That
they're
show's
they're
awesome.
on Fox,
Yeah,
right?
Billy and Mandy. Yeah,
Family Guy's on Fox.
Yeah.
That I think they're still on Hulu. You can still watch the episodes on Hulu, correct?
oh yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I would like to see some of the original Adult Swim content, especially some of the anime and stuff. But there's so many ways to watch that stuff now.
Yeah, so I would say people are in the near future are pretty much going to ditch cable and everything will be streamed for sure.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force for the win. Yeah, we're gonna have to get faster internet speeds. It's just the way that it is. Well,
Yeah.
when it comes to countries, we still have the overall slowest internet speeds in the world, unless you're talking about countries that don't really have any technology at all and they hang out in caves and stuff. But
I
You
mean,
know.
overall, so Disney Plus hit, Netflix trying to compete, but I mean that's the fun.
and there's
fun part
plenty
about
of room out there. So I'm not an ESPN guy, right? Like I don't watch a lot of
No.
sports. I did like some of the documentaries and stuff, but so for me, the bundle didn't make a lot of sense until I realized that I could keep my ad-free Hulu with Disney Plus added, and I'd be paying $1 less a month for both that I was gonna subscribe to anyway, and I get ESPN Plus for free.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have ESPN Plus now too. So try it out. They give you a week trial. Believe me, I don't care if you burn through all the shows that you want to
You
watch
won't.
in a day or two. If you can't find something to watch on there, okay.
Yeah. Well, somebody made a comment. It was kind of funny. It was like this is Disney's way of now they don't even have to go box office anymore for some of their movies. Just put their crap movies on there.
No, and that's true because the advertising costs and stuff for those things sometimes is
Oh, out of this
really
world.
high. They sometimes spend almost as much just on the advertising budgets and whatnot as they do for the entire movie.
Yeah.
Case in point, the Lady and the Tramp movie. I mean, it basically went right to the streaming service, and I watched it, and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't the original. And if they'd have put that thing in the theater, no one would have watched it.
Yeah. I don't blame. I don't blame what they're trying to do. I think Disney. Like I said, Disney is setting the bar right now, and I think everybody else now has to catch up.
Believe me.
Which I'm glad.
Disney has enough money in their Uncle Scrooge money coffers that even if they lose money on this for the first year that it's out, it won't hurt them.
No, it won't. But Disney Plus as a whole, final thoughts.
I think that 10 million subscribers day one is pretty outstanding. I don't care who you are or what you're doing.
Yep.
10 million subscribers day one. That it took HBO, I think, 3 years to obtain 10 million subscribers.
That's because everybody just wanted to watch Game of Thrones.
So overall thoughts, for me, it's a hit, especially if the original content, which we're going to talk about next, keeps coming, and it's as the same caliber and quality as what they've been putting out so far. I'm really curious to see if it's going to be the same caliber as the Mandalorian.
I think.
Thanks for the like, Christy. I appreciate it.
I think it will. I think they're just testing the waters right now, and I would love to see them try to pull as much Star Wars stuff as they can. Obviously,
we have a live action Star Wars show. Go, you know what? Go ahead. Put the new graphic up. We're gonna talk about that.
New
right
graphic, guys.
New graphic. Up.
Cue the graphics.
We have a live action Star Wars television show. We never, in my whole childhood, they talked about it. It was rumored. I never thought we were actually going to see a live action Star Wars television show. And by the way, no spoilers. We're not going to tell you anything about the actual plot or the secret reveals or anything like that, because we know that some of you guys probably don't have the service yet. Some of you.
Yeah, it's only been out for a week.
It's only been out for not even a week. So no spoilers, but the basic rundown is we heard rumors that they were talking about doing a Boba Fett movie. Then that got scrapped when Solo didn't make as much money as they hoped it would. So they got, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, Jon Favreau. He played Happy in the Iron Man movies and in the Spider-Man movies. I believe he directed the live-action Lion King. He directed the live-action Jungle Book. He had a lot to do with the Iron Man 1 and 2, maybe 3. So the guy knows how to tell stories. He's very competent. Oh, yeah. And Mandalorian, episode 1. I made it through that 40 minutes, and I was just like jaw on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Because I've never seen anything like it before. It was everything I wanted Solo to be.
So my personal opinion, watching it off the rip, like I said, I've watched episode 1. The only thing I don't like is the PG hard tag on it. It's I would say it's on the cusp of PG-13.
Yeah, I think so. But the Star Wars movies always have been.
I wanted to see, I'm just gonna give a spoiler. Nothing serious.
Okay.
So this is within the first 5 minutes of the show, and it's not a big spoiler. I mean, it's not even really a spoiler, I guess. So, gets into a fight, needless to say, basically pulls a little trickery on him. Guy gets closed into a door. Now, as you may think, it's a electronic door.
Yep.
So, what do you think's going to happen? All I gotta say is,
he gets cut in half.
Cut in half. You don't see it. You know it happens in your mind. And maybe as a kid, you're like, all right, he probably didn't get cut in half. He just died.
Hey, what's up, kids?
So, you know, he just died. But you know it happened. And I would like to see that. I'm not going to lie.
I don't need to see it.
I needed to see a dude get just smashed.
I mean, they already are pushing the envelope with what they can show on Disney. Like, even some of the Marvel stuff. And the Star Wars stuff. Like in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, where Count Dooku gets his freaking head cut off, right? Sorry, that movie's been out for almost 20 years. If you haven't seen it, too bad. But I'm glad they didn't edit it, right? Like, I'm glad that it's still in there. But I feel like that's about as far as they're going to push it.
Yeah.
If it's PG-13 and it's not sexual, I feel like it's going to stay. It's going to stay on the show. But they've got other programs on there, like the Runaways and stuff, which I thought were a little bit mature.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're not as mature as like the Daredevil series or the Punisher series or Jessica Jones or Luke Cage. Yeah. They're not quite that. They're not rated M for mature.
Thank you for the 10 biddies again.
You got biddies.
Hey, we don't do nips for bits.
Okay.
That's the rule here. But yeah, Mandalorian, I'm blown away. Because it starts out action packed just like how you want it to. It gives you that vibe.
There wasn't a lot of filler.
No.
I feel like if the episode had been a full hour, you'd have had a bunch of, I don't know, him not doing anything exciting.
Yeah.
And while there was some stuff where he wasn't shooting people and people weren't chasing him or whatever, I never really felt uninterested in what was going on.
No, it was perfectly timed. I will say, towards the end of the episode, it slowed down. But you can't have things blowing up, people getting.
And how
People getting
cool
shot
was
like
the
that.
IG-11 robot?
It was awesome.
Because in Empire, you see it briefly. Well, you see a version. That's IG-88 in Empire.
Yep.
So the Lancer droid model is, I don't know, I think they actually, in the original movie, they had him bolted to the floor so he wouldn't tip over. So seeing that thing move around and shoot stuff was freaking cool.
Yeah. So like I said, you guys need to check this out because it's so hard to talk about it right now.
Without
And-
giving stuff away, because
Yeah.
we want to be like, and then you remember that part where that thing happened, and you were like, whoa.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do that.
So next week, we're already going to decide this. We're going to do a week by week basis, but we're going to stay a week behind.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about episode 1 next week.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about episode 2. We actually might talk about episode 2 since they both got launched.
They got
this
launched
week.
the same week. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest, episode 2 was only 30 minutes, so it was 10 minutes less than the first episode. But I didn't feel like there was any filler.
Yeah.
You're going to see some familiar stuff you've already seen in previous Star Wars movies.
Great actors, by the way.
Great actors.
A lot of good ones.
A lot of good actors. And I think that the special effects are not
Minimal.
quite
Movie quality.
quality, but I mean they're good. They
Oh,
look
yeah.
they look good.
I
I have zero complaints with how the show looks. The casting, everything seems believable. And it's like your dad said. It felt like watching a western, and you get to see this whole other side that you've heard about, with the bounty hunting and guilds and things like that.
wanted it.
And you wanted to see it. You kind of wanted to know what was going on with all of that. And they're
Yeah.
going to give you more background about the entire history of the Mandalorians, I'm assuming, through flashbacks and whatnot.
Yeah.
Whereas if you haven't watched cartoons like the Clone Wars and stuff, you don't know anything about the Mandalorians.
For sure. And like I said, I think we're on the right track with these live action shows because before, if you would try to do a live action show, it would bust. It would be a bust.
To make it look good,
It'd be a bust.
it would be a bust. But now that CGI and technology and stuff has gotten so much better, you can produce more for less.
Yeah.
That's why these shows like The Flash and Arrow and all those superhero shows now they're better than they used to be with less budget. Like they have a lot of budget.
Yeah.
But you know that this thing had probably more budget than your average television show.
I would say so, but I mean, hey, they were like, all right, we're gonna get 10 million subscribers this week, so
Well, and they
I think
didn't-
we're good.
They didn't put any huge stars. No current huge stars in it.
They had Apollo. I knew he didn't die.
I mean, yeah, they had. Hey, Trudy, what's up? No, they did. They had Carl Weathers. He's in it. I hope he stays mainstay. They used Nick Nolte's voice for one of the characters. But it wasn't any huge stars.
Yeah.
Like stars that are really big now, so they had to pay a whole lot of money to them for having them in the show.
Yep.
And honestly, so far I've liked the fact that I haven't seen one lightsaber. I haven't heard one mention or reference to Skywalker or the Force or anything like that. You know, like it's really about this world of bounty hunting and this particular character
For sure.
doing bounty hunting stuff.
I think what's really neat about the whole show is like what you're saying. It's just they completely just ignore the other half, or I would say more than half of what Star Wars is. Why is Star Wars it is what it is? Because the Rebels and all this versus the Resistance and
That's
all
what
this.
they've been doing with the TV shows, which has
Yeah.
been so good. And Rogue One really gave you an insight of that you could make a story based in the Star Wars universe that was interesting with characters that you could like that had nothing to do with lightsabers, Skywalker, or the Force. I mean, that movie's basically like an espionage spy movie, right? And it's really good. It's probably one of the best of all the Star Wars movies they've ever done, including the original ones. So, having said that, I think TV shows are a really good medium to tell stories, and animated ones have been filling in the gaps. But I'm telling you, this live action thing, if you guys have not watched it, you will go, huh? You're going to scratch your head a couple of times at just how good it looks, how the story flows, and it has a completely different feel, but it feels Star Wars, if that makes sense.
For sure, and I mean, like I said, they're doing a great job with this show.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. It's worth just subscribing to Disney Plus just for this.
Yeah.
And that transfer into the question that we have: how is Netflix and chill over? It's because it's now called Disney Plus. With what happens when you Netflix and chill, I'll give you all the memes. Go look it up yourself. But so we're basically just. The Disney takeover.
They have been really funny.
Oh my gosh.
Like 1 hour into Disney and chill, and I've got a friend in me. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
it was, like they're really funny. Go look
Yeah.
at the memes; they're hilarious.
I think the best one I saw, it was like Mickey Mouse giving like this seductive look. It was something like that 1 hour into Netflix and chill, and your friend gives you this look, and
We could do a whole show, honestly, on just like the funny memes that we come across on
memes
the
of the
internet.
week.
Memes of the week. And honestly, by the time that we get them to you, they're old. You guys have probably already seen them.
You've used them yourself.
Use them yourself, and you're tired of seeing them. So we're not going to do that show. But
Segments maybe.
now that you've seen The Mandalorian, how do you think that the Marvel shows are going to compare?
I think the Marvel shows, I feel like that's where they're basing a lot of it off. Like if as far as the structure of how to do it, Marvel tells a great story. Look at how they've kept pretty much the Marvel universe all together, through like Black Panther. Nobody expected Bucky to come out of Black Panther from Wakanda. Like
I don't think so. I also
Like-
don't think that anyone expected Black Panther to be as successful as it was.
yeah,
He's not. I mean, he's well known to comic nerds,
Yeah.
right? But if I'd have asked you 3 years ago, hey, do you know who Black Panther is? And you'd have been like, isn't that those guys in the '60s that they were with Malcolm X or something? And that's not right. But that's what you associate with
Yeah.
them, right? So yeah, you would have probably not known who that was, and a lot of people wouldn't have known who that was.
Yeah.
But they took this character that, and they did it before with Thor. Not a lot of people were familiar with him. Iron Man, even Captain America, like known but didn't know anything about him,
yeah.
and turned them into now everyone knows all about them.
Yeah, I think Star Wars is kind of taking this structure, and I think a lot of people can take a lot from Marvel. It's just how to tell a story. If you can tell a story correctly, and you can get from point A to point B, and even throw in a C, a D, and an E, and an F
Yeah.
into your story, and
Yeah.
still keep it on point for this point A to point B.
Overall,
structure,
I feel that
you can't beat it.
I feel that the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I know it's not for everyone. It has a lot of critics, but you don't make that much money if people aren't watching your stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that hate things, and
They hate them, I think, just to hate things sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I went up to 7 watchers on the.
we got a lot of people
the
joining in.
Facebook.
So, guys,
I'm not sure who just hosted me in a watching party. I think that was Cassie, but thank you. That's cool. We appreciate it.
yep,
We
and
appreciate all the love. Come on in with your comments, questions, whatever you want to talk about.
we will answer it.
We will. We will answer them live.
Anywhere from dating advice, why does my boyfriend's left toe look funny, to
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
you may need. All
Yeah.
your personal needs, we'll give you our
And
answer.
if we can't find, we'll Google it. We will work it out.
Yeah, but so on to kind of like the Star Wars train that we're on right now. Let's talk about the brand new and improved
Very improved.
Dark Souls Star Wars, pretty much.
It's pretty much. It's okay. So Fallen Order. I spent a really, really, really absurd amount of time with this game yesterday. I wasn't feeling very well on Friday. So honestly, I kind of just was very low key, and it sucked because it was new Amiibo day, it was Fallen Order, and new Pokemon game, all at the same time. So I kind of just was tired and whatever. But anyway, I finally tried it last night. I was up till 5 in the morning playing Jedi Fallen Order
Wonders why I have to carry this podcast.
because I'm exhausted, y'all. And is the game good? Yes. Is it the best Star Wars game I've ever played? No. But it feels very different from a lot of the other Star Wars games that have come out, like Knights of the Old Republic, the Jedi Outcast series, the one that was with Darth Vader, I can't remember. Force Unleashed. It feels very different. But it's very satisfying. So it has a lot of like almost platforming to it, like Tomb Raider and Uncharted. So you got to kind of figure out how to navigate through the board through jumping, climbing, various things like that. There will be some backtracking, but much like Dark Souls, sometimes the reward for exploring is finding a shortcut to get back there in case you die. This uses meditation circle spots, which are exactly like the bonfires in Dark Souls. So if you go there and rest, all of your potions and your health and everything recharge, but all the enemies respawn. It's exactly like Dark Souls. The combat, now I am on normal difficulty. It had two, so there was basically like easy, super easy mode, which was story, and then I'm on like the one on that which is the one they recommend for new players. And then they have two more difficulties above that. If you're just like really good at those types of games, I'm not. I don't mind the game being a little challenging. I don't want to
Rip my hair.
I don't want to slip my wrist after playing the game, feeling how bad I am. So yeah. If Tomb Raider, Uncharted, and Dark Souls had a baby, it would be Jedi Fallen Order.
Well, I mean, I haven't personally seen any of the game, so a lot of people were giving this game flack before it came out.
Yeah.
Was like,
It's because it's an EA game.
it was EA, but also the fact of, okay, this is just going to be like Old Republic.
It's nothing like the Old
and
Republic.
and they kind of went in with that mindset that it's going to be like that.
If you want the Old Republic, then tell them that you want a game like the Old Republic. It really doesn't have RPG elements. Your character doesn't really gain levels. You do gain experience, and when you reach a certain level of experience, you gain skill points. But I can't tell you that my guy is level 10, or I don't know. There's not a lot of dialogue options when you're doing that, but the story is really good. They've got I can't remember his name, but he was in the series Gotham. He basically played like the Joker in that, the red-haired kid. He's a great and fantastic actor. He's like the main guy. There's this little droid that follows you around, BD-1. He's hilarious. You will fall in love with him. He kind of reminds me a lot of, honestly, R2-D2. If like R2-D2 and BB-8 had a baby, it would be BD-1.
A lot of baby making happen.
A lot of baby making happening.
But
and the opening sequence is very good. The game tells a very cohesive story. I'm not even off of the first planet, and I've already probably put in 5 or 6 hours in the game, easy.
Yeah.
So it is challenging, but it's not so brutal that you just like you want to punch your TV.
Yeah.
Parrying I thought was a lot easier. You can parry both range attacks and melee attacks. I haven't fought any like major bosses, but
Have you used any Jedi mind tricks?
not yet. But you do level up your abilities in the Force. You can customize your lightsaber, which I've spent an absurd amount of time doing. Now this is like the hilt and the other little attachments and stuff to it, which you don't even really see.
Can I have a Darth Maul lightsaber?
Like
dual?
I don't know. I'm not that far into it. I know that right now I can change the color of my blade. I can change it from blue to green. And because I pre-ordered, I can get an orange blade, which I really wasn't thrilled about.
I want a purple one. I want Mace Windu.
I think you can. I think you can get different colors. I'm not there yet. So if you like Star Wars at all, and you want to play something kind of different that doesn't really involve Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader or any of that, I say give it a go. If you don't like games that are very platformy, and if you didn't really like Tomb Raider, you won't like it. You just won't. You'll hate it because you do a lot of that. You do a lot of climbing. Yeah. But if you did like games like Breath of the Wild and Tomb Raider where you have to go and explore and figure things out, then you will like it. And don't get hung up on the fact that we're like, it's like Dark Souls. It is. If a guy kills you, all of the experience you had goes on that guy. You don't get it back until you hit him. You don't have to kill him. You just have to hit him to get it back. But if you don't, you lose it. It goes away.
And I'll put it this way. I recommend Dark Souls games and stuff like that, and games like Bloodborne, to anybody. Mm-hmm. Because, one, my favorite thing is to be challenged.
Yes.
Depending on the game I'm playing. When I play a story game, I want to be challenged.
Yes.
I want to go through it and feel like, okay, well, I killed 2 bosses today. Man, that was a great accomplishment.
Especially if combat is a big part of the game.
Yeah.
If the combat's good and it's a huge part of the game, I want to be challenged. If it's an RPG where it's a lot of micromanaging and stuff, I don't want to be challenged in that way. That's why I had a really hard time playing Pillars of Eternity and some of the old Dungeons and Dragons games, which I do like because I'm not a very good micromanager. I can't play real-time strategy games. I'm just not good at them.
Yeah.
But they have modes on those where you can just play the story. You don't have to micromanage as much. But if you're going to make combat a huge part of it, then absolutely I want to feel challenged. As long as the combat is fun and as long as it's fair. I don't want to feel like at any point I'm in there like, I have 0 chance against this guy. Yeah. That's unfun.
Yeah. And I think you couldn't have said it better, honestly. Game's beautiful. My final thoughts are, I'm probably going to pick this thing up, but I'm a little busy right now.
A lot of other stuff going on. There's a lot of other stuff going on in the world.
And I'm going to kind of take a little moment before we switch over to our next little story game that many of people already have bought and fell in love with, which we've been so hype about. But first off, I just want to let you guys all know, anybody that is coming to the channel right now, whether you're new, like I said, milestone follower, seasoned veteran, make sure you guys are dropping your questions below. They do not have to be anything related to nerdy stuff. We will just give you our opinion, and we try to be nice.
We meant to have the links up for all of our stuff, and we forgot. But honestly, all the links are on last week's video. I put all of them up. Your Twitch, my Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, all of them. They're all up. Yep. We don't have enough followers on YouTube yet to get a custom URL.
But we're working on it.
But
the way you can help is if you have
go
YouTube,
over and subscribe.
If you have YouTube and an email,
yeah,
sign up. Go to our channel. Those number 2 nerds.
That's us. Yeah, we're over there. Go
looking pretty.
Go subscribe. But we appreciate all the likes and whatnot like that. Yeah. We have a couple ideas that we're working on, and you guys are going to start seeing those in the next couple of weeks. We're going to make this more like an actual newscast. We're going to even maybe film some commercials to put in for, like, you know,
just fillers.
Almost like an intermission, like, especially if I go in a coughing fit or something. So we can go, and we'll be right back, mute, and then I'm like, and I'm vomiting all over the place. But yeah, little filler things, and we're still going to go an hour on the show, even with the filler. But they're all coming. We're working on it.
I was gonna say we have a lot of things in plan. I mean, it's gonna be a fast 2 months or so. What? If I saw 99 red balloons go by, I'd probably just round it up to 100 when I was telling people about it. I don't know what to say with that one.
Okay. I actually think that's on my Twitch. I don't see it on yours.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would too.
So thank you, Dankle Balls, for the
interesting comment.
For the interesting fact. And I agree. Why would you not round up? Unless you knew the specific number. I mean, if you were able to count and there were 99, then I like facts, right? I want facts. Yeah. I don't want to go, well, it was probably 100. But if you knew it was 99 and you tell me 100 and then I find out later, I'm going to call you a liar pants.
And I want to know how you came up with that number. Like, I want to know, did you count all the balloons before they flew away?
Is that a song lyric? I feel like that might be a song.
I mean, 99 problems, but
yeah, I don't know. If that's a song lyric, I feel it does sound familiar, but
okay.
If that's your song, great.
That's definitely the random comment of the day.
Yeah.
You win.
99 Red Balloons. I thought it was a song. Yeah.
Well, look at me over here. I'm just over
here. Look at you not knowing anything about nothing.
Guys, I'm honestly, I'm just here for the pretty face, you know. I keep the podcast afloat with, you know, my good looks. That's why I go to all the business meetings.
Yeah.
So,
but it's been a very busy week, you know.
It's hard to keep up this week. I'm not gonna lie.
I knew that this week was going to be a good one though because of all the things that are out, all the new things that are coming out, all the new things that just arrived this week. With Pokemon and Star Wars and The Mandalorian and Disney Plus and all of that stuff. So, I knew it was going to be a good week. I knew that this was going to be one of our easier weeks where a lot of times we're like, we don't, let's talk about that. You think that's a good, yeah, let's talk about that. I think we can
talk about this for about 25, 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah. But this was an easy one, right? Yeah. This was an easy week.
This week we had to find out what we were not going to.
We had to cut stuff. We're like, well, let's just talk about the important stuff.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm not going into great detail about amiibos and stuff this week.
Dangle says, when is the pretty face arriving? You guys didn't know this, but we have John Stamos showing up to the studio today. We're just waiting on him.
Let's see.
To accept my email.
Do we have the same feeling Star Wars is going to disappoint? As in the new Star Wars? If that is that what you're asking?
I would assume that.
Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah, I would assume that the news.
Okay. Then yeah, I feel like no matter what they do, it's going to disappoint us in some way. In much the same way that I think the Phantom Menace did, and the same way that Attack of the Clones did.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same boat, but at the same time, it's about how it's done. It's about how the movie is made. If the movie feels so rushed and everything's just kind of cluttered, and they leave it with so many questions, they need to close it. They need to do kind of what they did with Avengers.
I don't want them to try and wrap everything up.
Yeah.
In the last 5 minutes of the movie, kind of like how they did in Lord of the Rings, right? So at the very end, it just seemed like the movie wouldn't end.
Yeah.
And I don't need, like, wrap everything up. That's great, but kind of do it throughout the movie.
Yeah.
He says the new one, it needs a major twist and not a double twist.
So we've already had predictions, and the big thing that's circling around the internet, and I kind of agree with this, is that Rey is a clone. Many of you guys may not know this.
That's his thing. I don't know if I buy into it, but
Rey's
it's interesting.
Rey's a clone being controlled by the Emperor, and Kylo knows. Kylo knows that Rey is controlled by the Emperor, and because Kylo's on this scale. He has Sith in him, which I think anybody that has the Force has a little bit of Sith in them. It's like a balance beam. Sometimes he's like, I look towards the light, and other times I look towards the darkness.
And I agree with that because I've read it at least in books and whatnot.
Yeah.
That Yoda has said that many times. That within everything there is light and there is dark, and it just depends on which one you want to go towards.
If Jar Jar is the return,
I'm gonna tell you what. If people predicted that Jar Jar is really the main, he's been the main villain the whole time.
If Jar Jar,
that would be the sweetest plot twist in the history of movies. Even though you guys already predicted it.
Yeah, if Jar Jar comes back, even if Jar Jar comes back in this movie, whether he has nothing to do with this movie whatsoever, he just comes back, I will cosplay freaking Jar Jar on the stream.
I'm gonna say it, okay, because I just recently watched the preferred viewing order of the Star Wars movies. I haven't finished Return of the Jedi, but I watched Episode 4, Episode 5, then I went back and watched The Phantom Menace, even though a lot of people tell you to skip that one.
The movie sucks.
And then I watched Attack of the Clones and then Revenge of the Sith. Then I'm gonna go back and watch Return of the Jedi and then the new ones. I've seen those movies, a lot of times. I'm sure we all have, even though a lot of people hate them. However, I will say that those movies have aged well. They have. Are they as good as the original trilogy? No, not even close. You're not even talking like the same caliber of stuff. You don't have a Han Solo in there, and I'm sorry, Samuel L. Jackson, as cool as he is, he's just not enough to carry the whole franchise. But they're better. And I actually appreciated Jar Jar more. I appreciated the Gungans more. And I'll tell you another thing that made me appreciate those more was Star Wars Destiny, the card game. When I saw people actually building competitive Gungan decks and they weren't terrible, that's awesome. When I saw people building competitive Ewoks decks and they weren't terrible. But I'm of the opinion that if you are a true Star Wars fan, then you at least appreciate everything Star Wars has done, even the terrible holiday special. Yeah. Do you have to love it all? No.
No, but
I don't think all of Star Wars is for every Star Wars fan. Me, I love all of Star Wars, and going back and rewatching The Phantom Menace and watching Attack of the Clones, they have aged well.
Oh, for sure.
They really, really have.
And that's, I think
the writing in them is so much better.
I think that the movies overall are going to only get better. I think the movies that we have now with the new 3 that are coming out, they're gonna age well. But I think it all falls on what this last movie does. If this last movie is kind of a bust, as far as it brings a lot of hype, brings a lot of, okay, this is what's probably gonna happen. This is what we're seeing so far in the trailers. How do you end it? How do you end the journey? I mean,
I'm really tired of people bashing the prequels, because it was cool and trendy to do back 20 years ago. I'm sorry, George Lucas can't write dialogue his way out of a wet paper bag. He can't. His dialogue is terrible, but his stories at least have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And honestly, when you watch the 3 prequel movies together in a short time span, they're one story. By the time that you get to Sith, that movie is so dark, it goes down such a dark path, that if Phantom Menace isn't so stupid and goofy, and it kind of has this medium tone, I feel like you're just going to be depressed. Like, I watched it last night, and I was like, oh, I kind of miss the pod racing, Yeah. And I miss the Gungans. Jar Jar says nothing by the time that the 3rd movie in the prequel trilogy comes out, because people hated him so much, and it's whatever. You can hate whatever you want to. However, I'm a Star Wars fan, and I love all things Star Wars. I love that the cartoons and stuff haven't pretended like the prequels didn't exist. I like that The Mandalorian and Disney haven't pretended that the prequels didn't exist.
For sure.
And they're going to keep doing Star Wars movies, and guess what? Whether you like it or not, Rey is part of Star Wars culture now. Kylo Ren is part of Star Wars culture now. Finn is part of Star Wars culture. If you don't like those characters, and I've had a lot of people talk about how much they don't like Rey because basically she's good at doing stuff and they don't have any reason. They referred to her as a not very nice thing on the internet, and who cares? Let them finish their story. You can't come into like the middle of a story before the story has had a chance to wrap itself up, and we're going to finally get that. And that's the thing I think is going to be disappointing. If they don't give you enough answers as to why is Rey
who Rey is,
why the way that she is, why is she just really good at doing Force stuff.
I love the cliffhanger that they left in the final part of it with C-3PO, where he said, you know, what's wrong, C-3PO? This is the last time I'm looking at my friends. And then C-3PO pulls out a lightsaber and cuts them all.
After episode 9 comes out, I'm probably going to revise my list of what I feel are the best Star Wars movies in order. Because I used to rank Phantom Menace as the worst. I don't know. I actually rank The Last Jedi as the worst, but not for the same reasons that a lot of people do. I had no problem with the plot points that were in it, except for the major plot point involving them chasing the ship and waiting for it to run out of fuel. That was the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen in a movie.
They could have blasted them into smithereens.
They have warp technology. They have hyperspeed technology, and they have these massive ships. You're telling me that they couldn't cut them off? Like, radio in, hey guys, we need some help. Can you guys just like hyperspace like over to these coordinates and just blow the crap out of these people with it was dumb. Yeah. And the casino scene was stupid.
I actually didn't mind it.
But I feel like you need a little goofy in Star Wars. Star Wars is goofy. They've all had goofy things. The cantina scene, the Jabba Palace scene, the pod racing scene. They've all had something kind of not out of place, but weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're in for a treat. I think we're in for a treat on the final movie. Everything's Star Wars right now. Jeez.
Yeah.
Like with Mandalorian and
new
Disney Star Wars coming out.
Yeah.
It's an insane thing to be a Star Wars fan right now.
So is it going to be a disappointment back to the original? I think that it's definitely going to be a disappointment to more people than it's not.
I'm gonna rate the movie, and I haven't even seen the movie, obviously.
Yeah.
It's gonna be average. It's not gonna be bad. It's not gonna be the greatest movie ever that I've seen. It's just gonna be like that 7 range.
But that's the thing. Okay, and I think that the reason that the Phantom Menace got a lot of flack, because I'm gonna go back to this point.
Was the
last Star Wars movie that we had seen before the Phantom Menace was in 1983 with Return of the Jedi. How many years was it before we got another Star Wars movie? It was years. Years. 99 maybe?
Phantom Menace came out in 99.
So over a decade. And how many times had people watched the original trilogy up to that point and the different versions of the original trilogy?
There was nothing like it at the time.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter what he did. No, it wasn't going to be everything everybody wanted. There's people that hated Rogue One, and it's a great movie.
I don't think it's bad. I like I said, it's another average movie. I think all the movies that have came out from the first 6 have been okay. They're not bad. I don't mind them. I think there's stupid parts in them where it just doesn't make sense, doesn't add up. But
the Force Awakens basically is a rehash of Episode 4. Okay, I'm fine with that. It's familiar. And the reason that people hate The Last Jedi so much is not because of the weird plot points or, the things that were going on with Luke and this, because silly things have always been in Star Wars. They're upset because it wasn't what they wanted.
Yeah.
They had this expectation of what it was going to be, and then it wasn't. And they told you that in the very beginning of the movie when Luke is talking to Rey. This is not going to turn out the way you expect it to. That wasn't just a piece of dialogue. That was him basically telling you that this movie is not going to be the way that you think that it's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, they kill off the guy that they say is the main villain. Like, boom, out of nowhere. They kind of team up to this weird on the same side thing. Luke, sorry, he didn't come in and save the day like everybody expected him to do.
Yeah.
Were there some goofy things in there with like Leia floating through space and stuff? Absolutely. Luke drinking blue milk, yep, that was weird and kind of dumb. But they're trying different things.
Yeah.
They basically were telling you that your Star Wars is over. Everything about the Star Wars that you know and grew up with, whether you are an original trilogy kid or a prequel trilogy kid, is done and over.
Yeah.
They're killing it. They're killing all of it. By the time that you get to this, the saga will be over. It will be officially over.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked if you see any Force wielders alive at the end of the movie. Honestly. That's my prediction. And if they do, I think the idea and concept, and I've said it before, of the Jedi and Sith will be over, and that the name Skywalker will now be the title. Instead of being a Jedi, you will be a Skywalker.
I like it. I'm okay with it. But kind of getting away from the whole Star Wars, because I mean we could talk about.
We're
Star
done.
Wars
We're done nerding out over Star Wars. We're gonna talk about some other stuff that's like almost
But
as cool.
we're gonna transition to the final topic of the day.
Final topic of the day.
So
if you want us to talk longer, I suggest you get your butts in the chat channels and talk to us about some stuff. Ask us some questions.
So lastly, but
Definitely not least.
definitely not least from us, Pokemon Sword and Shield finally released onto the Switch, and people's minds are blown.
Both in good ways and bad ways. It launched to thunderous applause and thunderous boos. Reviews are out. Reviews say it's good. I agree with the reviews. It's probably the best version of Pokemon to come out.
Yep.
But every version that comes out is better than the one that usually comes out before it. And they are not afraid to try different things. Because, guys, they've been selling us the same game for 25 years. It's been the same concept. It's the same game. And Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee tried to mix that up a little bit. And it didn't go well with the fans. I liked it, but
No, it was a 50-50 on that one.
yeah. So have you got to play it or watch some video or anything?
I've watched video. I'm trying to avoid watching it.
I know you've been kind of holding out.
Yep, holding out just for a week. But Sword and Shield, from what I've seen, just from like pretty much like the little snippets that you see on previews, it gives me that Coliseum vibe from the GameCube, which I thought because I'm a Pokemon fan, but my problem was staying on point after I did the Elite Eight. Like, okay, well, I gotta go do the Final Four.
Yeah, you gotta do some other stuff. And I kind of just stopped caring.
I don't know why I said Elite Eight, just the first 8 bosses.
My thing with the games lately have been I've been having a hard time playing handheld.
Yeah, I can't.
So I have not finished Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon. I didn't finish Sun or Moon, and I don't think I finished the one before that. What was it, X and Y? Yeah. And that's a shame because I love the series. I love the games. Yeah. So for all of they got it right, and they did. They got a lot right. There is better multiplayer aspects in this game. You can team up with your friends, do raid battles together with potentials to catch even rarer Pokemon.
Yep.
There are obviously the battles and trading systems are pretty much the same.
For sure.
And that's neat. That actually has like these social media tag things. So like when you accomplish something, it has this little thing. If people are in your zone, they can see it. I'm not really sure how it works. I haven't been online yet, but it looked neat.
The game overall, I mean, like I said, if you like Coliseum from the GameCube, you're gonna love this game. Tons of Pokemons, tons of new interactions with people / Pokemon. Mm-hmm. You know, walking through a bush, or you see the Pokemon. Not trying to give too many spoilers away if you haven't seen it yet.
I liked my favorite feature in the game. I liked was that you can see the Pokemon out in the wild. No more of this walking through the grass or walking through a cave and getting attacked by the 48th Zubat. Just trying to make your way. You actually can avoid battles.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah, because you got to the point where once you were hitting those Zubats every time, you're like, all right, run.
Yeah, or you're using max repels and stuff just to get through the stupid cave. And that's frustrating. Like, you just want to get from point A to point B. You don't want to keep battling, or you've caught everything in the area you're in. And that was honestly what turned me off about some of the games and keeping my interest in playing them.
Yeah.
Let's see. I heard you can feed Pokemon to other Pokemon. I don't know. I have heard that as well.
Yep. Like I said, I've yet to touch the game. Like, I haven't even turned it on the Switch. I have it. It's open. I have Sword. Buying Shield Wednesday.
Oh, that actually worked out. Look, I'm on the Shield side, and you're on the Sword side because I'm playing Shield.
We did that on purpose, guys.
We didn't at all, but
But hey, that's what production crews do. They get it right.
Yeah, so if anyone is wanting to play, I'm going to be on it. You can message me. I'll send you my friend code if you don't already have it. We can trade Pokemon, do battles. We can go do raid battles together, and I think that that's cool. I think that's one of the neatest aspects. And now that the game launched, Nintendo is announcing official events already, which I don't remember them doing a lot for the DS games. There is the first ever online Galar region competition. You have to register before, I think it's December the 4th or 5th.
Yeah, something like that.
You register your team. All of your characters will be boosted up to level 50. They have item restrictions. You can't use legendaries. But yeah, you compete. You get prizes. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And why not? That's kind of... You want to be the very best. That means you're going to have to battle other people.
Yeah, just like Ash Ketchum always said.
Yeah. And then they also have the ongoing raids right now where you can catch Gigantamax. There's versions for each game, too. There is some for... there's a version, I don't remember who it is, in Shield and Sword that are exclusive. And then they're also doing Butterfree. So get out there and catch some Pokemons.
I think the game's going to be great. And like I said, it's giving a lot of buzz right now with how everything's going. Just try it out. If you have a Switch and you're not playing this game right now, you're behind.
This is a system seller. The Switch Lite
comes in a special edition. Now you don't get the game, and a lot of people were under that conception that you were going to get the game. You do not.
That was a miss. They should have included one of the versions of the game.
Yeah, but
another couple bucks they could have.
But what you run, I think you should do a bundle with it. So
I agree.
So what you do is you sell, because the Switch Lite, the non-dockable Switch, is $200.
Mm-hmm.
If you would have done the bundle, you could have got both the games and the Switch Lite for $300.
And I think that would have been smart. Or if they didn't want to give you both games, they could have raised the bundle price to $250 and give you one of the games.
Yeah, I think that's what you do. I think that was the better play. But
it's actually starting to... The stock reserves on those are running out.
Yeah,
they're not sold out. If you still want it, you can get it, but you better.
I know Best Buy had 2 last time I checked, and which is pretty crazy. Like I said, this game is selling off shelves, digital downloads, whatever it may be. And that's what's crazy now. You never have to worry anymore in life about, oh my god, I have to go to 9 different stores.
To get this game because they might not have.
They
might not have the new Duty. You know, I gotta go to.
You're like
everywhere.
Wallet. All right, credit card number, and download it. I didn't even do anything.
Downloads are definitely the future. Streaming is the way of the future. But for now, downloads are where it's at.
Yeah.
For me personally, on the Switch, I like physical cartridges. If something comes out on a physical cartridge, I will buy it that way. I've actually bought digital games that they then later released in a physical release, and I bought it too.
Yep.
That's me personally. I think it's because the Switch does not have the memory capabilities of the PS4. You can't put external hard drives. They don't really have gigantic, SD cards for storage.
Well, I don't know if you heard about this. A lot of people that are playing like Call of Duty, I know this isn't really related, but upgrading systems, they're putting SSDs in their Pros.
They should.
They're putting SSDs in them to make them run better. And the other thing that was going on right now with the new Call of Duty as well. So there's something called it's a packet loss.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, this may just be coincidence, but it's based on your friends list. People are getting this packet loss on the PS4s because they have too many friends or notifications going on.
Well, that in a way that kind of makes sense.
So like people that have 100 friends, like if you deleted, like I had 116 friends. I play with a lot of people. I've cut it down to 16 people. Game hasn't hicked up once. So a lot of people are really mad at PS4s right now.
But at the same time, can you kind of blame them for the way that friends lists and stuff work on the PS4? It's like a constant influx of data.
Yeah, true.
Between seeing what people are doing. I know it's not like a huge...
Going online, going offline.
Imagine how much extra bandwidth that is for every person that's on connecting to PSN.
Yeah.
With updating all of that.
Yeah. But back to your point about Switches.
But yeah, the Switches are, I think that, especially going forward, Nintendo needs to come up with some better storage options for sure.
Yeah.
SD cards, for the most part, are pretty cheap. But I'm not that type of person that wants to keep popping out an SD card and put another SD card in. I don't mind the cartridge. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah, but then you run into, okay, I have 3 cartridges right now.
Yeah, what's on this SD thing? Like
Yeah.
when I put the cartridge in, I know, okay, this is Pokemon or this is Mario Odyssey, but if I have the download, what's on this thing? Unless I'm only putting one game on each SD card, which that sounds stupid.
I think yeah, they need to make bigger chip cards. That way,
They're coming, and even the cartridges they've said. And again, this is kudos to Red Project. I think that's the ones who do The Witcher. So when they brought their game The Witcher over to the Switch, the cards, the game cartridge sizes, they come in I think 4 gigabyte, 8 gigabyte, and 16 gigabyte and 32 gigabyte.
Yeah.
And the 32 gigabytes are the biggest one that Nintendo has right now. They're also the most expensive to produce.
Yeah.
And the Witcher file size was like 31 point some odd gigs. And they said, we want the bigger card. We want the whole game on one card. I understand that the production costs are more expensive for some companies, but even games like NBA 2K and stuff,
They're
they
making
went
the
for the
money,
16 cards, the 16 gig cards, and made you download 5 or 6 gigs worth of data to play it.
Yeah.
That's not a patch. That's the rest of the game.
Yeah.
You can get a terabyte micro SD card, but you're not getting a terabyte SD micro SD card for less than a couple $100.
But that's the problem. I mean, you're
They're
dropping
too expensive.
you're dropping $300.
Will they go down? Yes.
Give it time. Give it time. I think get more Smash hits. I mean, you have Mario Odyssey, you have Pokemon now, you have Breath of the Wild, you have Mario Kart, some other AAA titles that are just amazing. Give them more Smash hits. Let some more Switches keep coming off the shelves, and I think those cards will go down.
Pokemon is gonna sell a lot of systems, but the game cartridges themselves is what I'm talking about. Where they actually make the manufactured game cartridge.
Yeah.
They said next year Nintendo's going to be releasing these 64 gig cartridges, but a lot of these other companies aren't willing to shell out the more money for the bigger card to make sure that the game fits on the thing. So in an instance like NBA 2K, they use 16 gig cards. The game file size was, I think, 30 gigs, so you had to download almost half again as much data. If they'd have just gave you a 32 gig card, not be cheap asses, just give it to you. You're paying $60 for the game.
You can't, and that's a problem. And I hope to see companies not try to skimp out, because you're gonna make money. You're gonna sell. You already make enough money. Like, just drop a little bit extra.
That's why they got my money when I heard that they were doing that with The Witcher. I was on the fence because I already have it on the game on the PlayStation, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna play it a lot on my Switch, but you know what? I'm gonna support a game company who does stuff like that, who's willing to take a gamble for their players. And it's not like you're gonna get a bad game when you get The Witcher, right? You're buying a great game.
Yeah.
I don't care what system you buy it on. So that was a no-brainer for me. It's like the Shovel Knight game, right?
Yeah.
P.S.
Great
The
game.
physical release of Shovel Knight is finally coming out with all the expansions and everything, December 10th. It's finally happening.
Might have to pick it up.
I already pre-ordered it. Of course I did. On Switch. I've already finished it on Switch, but I'm going to play it again. Yep. But the new King of Cards expansion is finally coming out. The Gold Shovel Knight amiibo is coming out in December on the 10th. And the 3-pack amiibo of King Knight, the Plague Knight, and the Spectre Knight is finally coming out. I pre-ordered that thing almost 2 years ago. And it's just now coming out.
There you go. Pay it forward.
So thank you guys over there at Yacht Club Games for finally finishing that game. And they've already announced their next game in the Shovel Knight series, which looks similar to like Steam World Dig, but Shovel Knight. And I think it'll be cool. All right. They'll get my money.
So I got 2 final points. So first point, water, grass, or fire. Starting Pokemon.
I have not picked mine yet. Because I haven't played, and I'm leaning more towards the water type Sobble. Although Grookey, the little monkey, is pretty cool looking. I think Score Bunny is the least interesting of the two.
Lastly, final thoughts on Pokemon. What do you?
I am in the same boat as a lot of the fans who are upset, but I am not so much upset that I'm not willing to give them the money for their new game and play it. The people are upset that you don't have all the Pokemon in the game. Okay, I get it. One, I don't even know how difficult that would be. And two, I kind of like that they're mixing it up and not giving you all of them or access to all of them. It will make you appreciate different characters, I think, instead of going back and falling on the same ones that you play every time that a new game comes out.
because they're just OPs.
Because you're like, well, I'm gonna play the I don't know which ones are the best of the best ones. I don't look at the competitive scene. But if you always play about the same 5 or 6 characters in every game, well, chances are you don't get to do it this time. You're gonna either have to play with new guys or play with old guys that you've never played with before.
Yeah.
And I like that. Am I upset that they're not in there even in post game? Yes. It would have been nice to be able to transfer and finally say that you can catch them all. But guess what? There aren't very many people that have caught them all. It's hard. And now there's over 1,000.
That's a lot of Pokeballs.
I never caught all the original 150. I feel like I'm pretty close. But even to this day, 20-some years later, I haven't caught them all. Have you ever caught them all?
No.
Me either. It's hard. So, yeah, that's upsetting. The other thing that was really upsetting was that they reused a lot of the animations, not all of them, from the DS games, from Sword and Shield, or I'm sorry, from Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. When they said that was part of the reason why they couldn't include the old Pokemon was that they're going to do all new animations.
Yeah.
They didn't. So this hashtag Game Freak lied went out, and they're not wrong. But who cares? They're trying to get the game out, right? If they had taken the full amount of time that it needed to develop the game from scratch, and they did, but they reused some stuff that they could reuse, and it saved them a little bit of time. You guys might have been waiting another year or two for a Pokemon game.
And, I mean, wait a year or two, get a full game, or have it now and let them put in updates.
And believe me, they've heard all you guys crying
All the cries, yeah.
All the crying about, I can't play with all my characters that I've ever had. Believe me, it's coming. Either the next game will have the ability to get the rest of the ones you haven't played, or they will make another game where you can get
or
them
just
all.
mass updates.
And I think that's going to be, like you mentioned, Coliseum. I really think that's going to be the only place you're going to get to play them. They're going to, I'm predicting it. They're going to have a Switch version of Coliseum.
That'd be sweet.
Where you can import your characters from any game system that's ever been made, so there's not a story behind it. It's just going to be a battle game where you can battle online, you can battle friends or fictional trainers, whatever.
Yeah, there is a story to Coliseum.
I'm predicting it,
yeah.
though. Well, the one Coliseum definitely did.
Yeah.
But Pokemon Stadium on N64 was just battling.
That's fine.
But you could win some prizes. You could get some evolution stones and stuff. And I'm predicting, I think that's going to be the only type of game where you're going to see all of them.
Yeah.
What about you? How do you feel about the reusing of the animation sprites and stuff?
I think it's kind of cheap's not the right word, but it's kind of like a quirky little thing that they did, and I don't like it. But I don't think the animations look bad. It'd be different if the animations sucked, and you're putting in crappy animations. But for time-saving purposes, okay. I see both sides of it. I see the frustration from the fans, but I see the developers and stuff like that. Okay, this is not a bad choice. This saves us a ton of time because it's a lot of just copying and pasting type thing.
So when you finally pick up the game, which starter are you going with? You going with grass,
Green.
fire, or
Grass every time. I
You're
went
always
grass
grass.
every time.
Okay.
Bulbasaur was the man. Got to keep it, R.I.P.
Without giving a lot of spoilers, I did like that because I was letting one of my friends play because they've never played a Pokemon game. So I was kind of watching and giving suggestions and stuff. And I did like that there were types, like Pokemon types in the game early that you're not used to seeing. There was an electric type, there was an ice type, there was more ground types, where normally it's like, here's a bunch of normal guys that don't do anything. So I thought that was kind of cool. And I'm not going to tell you which ones they are. Go experience the game for yourself. Yep. But the world looks huge. It's massive. And I can't wait to do some of the max player rates. Yeah. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah. Well, now we got to do the recap. I got it. You ready?
Go for it.
The rundown. Netflix and chill may not be over. Signed with Nickelodeon, but Disney Plus right now is the streaming platform.
That would be an awkward Netflix and chill moment. Hey, come on over and watch SpongeBob. What?
But we're not watching SpongeBob. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
But Disney Plus taking over Mandalorian. Great launch. 2 episodes already out.
And both were awesome.
Yep, drop the subscription, $7.99 or something like that.
$6.99. I think.
Yep, and then Star Wars game, Dark Souls Star Wars. That just sounds awesome to me.
It's fun.
Get your lightsaber.
You'll like it.
You know, it's like getting your flyer's license, like your wings. So.
And I didn't cough in the microphone a lot this week.
I'm proud of you.
That's
sick.
good.
And
I do. I actually feel terrible right now.
yeah. And then Pokemon, obviously, Sword and Shield. You know, great launch. Selling systems, and that's pretty much it, man.
Yeah. So if you look down, we've got a couple graphics on the bottom.
Yep.
On my side, that's where you can find me on the internet if you're not already watching me. I am at Nick Displays Games on Facebook. I am at Twitch TV or twitch.tv/Nick Displays Games on Twitch. And this guy over here, his is down at the bottom on his. He is at twitch.tv/VeraCoach if you're not already watching him. If you're watching him on my feed and you want to go check him out, please do that. Give a like, give a subscribe, give a follow. He did yawn. He only yawned once though, but that's cool. I'm surprised I didn't yawn. So other than that, keep the suggestions, the feedback coming.
Logo coming inbound.
Yeah, our
merch inbound.
Faded Gin Digital Art is working on it.
Yep. So whenever that's done, we're gonna show you guys.
It's gonna be replacing the little gray one in the middle there.
Yeah. Because that is just a logo. This will be a mascot.
That has been kind of like a little placeholder, and we needed something.
We needed something that was cool.
But as you can see, like, we already have our own individual mascots. They're now on the bottom of our little things there. And we've never used them on the show.
We need to go next level for you guys.
We do.
But we appreciate it. Thank you guys all so much for all your comments today. You guys are pretty active in chat today.
Pretty active. It wasn't as active as last week, but it was still pretty active.
Yeah, a lot of good questions. Just a lot of people sticking around. New faces joining between Twitch streams, YouTube, or anything.
Yeah, I got hosted in a viewing party.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, so if you're watching a video, right, on Facebook, you can do what's known as a video watching party, and you can invite a bunch of other people, and it basically sends them an invite to come watch the video. That's awesome. So that's why my viewers went up. I was sitting at like 2, and then it went up to like 8.
There you go. Hey,
and I was like, thank you.
Thank you for the host, guys. Thank you guys all for the follows, the likes, the bits. But until next time, episode 16.
16's in the books.
Signing off with those two nerds. I am VeraCoach.
I am Nictus.
And have a good rest of your day, guys.